Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. So happy to find you here. Welcome to any new subscribers. I hope you stay for a good long while. Bring a friend with you next time. I am delighted to circle back following my week-long recognition of the birthday of Malcolm X. And hopefully I'm posting this a little bit right thereafter or within a reasonable amount of time. The purpose of my prefacing this is while I was doing one of the recordings, I I got what I call thought interrupted. Sometimes that happens to me. An idea, a creative moment happens, and it kind of arrests my thought, and I go, okay, I got to do that. And I actually did that at the time of the recording and just decided not to record everything all over, but definitely circled back to it because that's what I do. And I am circling back to that thought that I had, and that was this. I was talking about the fact of how what I call the colonizers, because now I'm realizing it is not all white people. It is the colonizer mindset, the capitalistic colonizer mindset by which they must be self superior and righteous to everyone else, but particularly downtrodden blacks, and to keep us downtrodden. And this is how the thought came. As I was talking about how they try to discredit and lessen, reduce down, make smaller this giant of a man called Malcolm X, and did the same thing with this giant of a man called Martin Luther King, Doctor, Reverend Doctor. Every time he had another title, they try and lessen him more. They even got to the point to where they got involved with his family life and tried to send discrediting um, information to his home, to all of this nonsense to me as I was rehearsing that and kind of reliving the studying of that. Because, at that time I was a child and I'm saying this, how fervent you were to destroy us, how ambitious you are to try and do it, how you cannot reside and lay your sword down, which is an unnecessary sword. I started thinking about, even while recording that, there was nothing by which they should have even been attacking this man, or his life work, or his legacy, or his intention, or his calling, but yet they did. I began to talk about how they do the same thing to Black men even now, today, and how they meaning Black men, are wrongfully imprisoned, are kept overtime and imprisoned, are removed from their family as if we don't love our men. Why they disintegrate the family structure by imprisoning the man. And at that time, I thought to myself, we have never been as bad as you've imagined, but you have been worse than that. A few weeks ago, I did a post, and I've done several, about how we, as Black people in this country and globally, have never been the precipice by which failure occurred to the country, the nation, abroad, and then some. We have never been that. Namely, because you have never put us, allowed us, given us the opportunity to be in such a position. So the failure by which you incur can't be pointed to us. This talk is about the fact that you've imprisoned Black men at a much higher, long, prolonged, unforgivable rate than you do the worst of your white men. We've never been serial killers. You can pull up a list of the worst serial killers of all time, and you won't find one Black man serial killers with narcissistic minds, with cray-cray ways, who are devious in their soul and in their heart. We don't even carry that spirit. You see, serial killers like Dennis Rader, who gave himself his own moniker of BTK, blind, torture, and kill the person. We don't even come up with such nonsense. I recall, I want to say it's been many years ago. It was definitely way before COVID. I was home watching channel surfing, and I came up on a channel, I think it was either Snapped or Investigate. And really, I was just like, didn't have anything to do. Now, that's uncommon for me, but I didn't want to do anything that needed me to think. Just relaxing with my dog. And here comes this Investigate true crime story about BTK. And I said, who is that? So I watched it. And it was a 2-hour long telling of this Dennis Rader, serial killer, who created the moniker bind, torture, and kill. I have since done at least 3 videos about this man. I'm telling you, this documentary was done so telling and so real and so scary. I was scared in my own home. I said, all the doors locked, set the alarm and make sure the ring camera is going. And this man is already in prison. It scared me. Who could do? He found pleasure in binding, torturing, and killing women. That was his pleasure. And he had gotten away with it for 25 years. It wasn't until the news media in that town decided to do a 25-year anniversary. Where are they now? Where would these women who got killed by this BTK person, where would they be now? How are their family now? How are they coping? They just wanted to follow up and let the families of these women know that they weren't forgotten. This Dennis Rader is so narcissistic that he contacted the station to not only correct the story, but to reignite more about it. What happened over those 25 years is this thing called technology. He had the audacity to send an email and not realize that an email has an IP address. And they went straight to where that IP address was and arrested him. 25 years he got away. His arrogance got him caught. Now, in his interview, when he surrendered, now how do you surrender when you already got caught? Boy, stop your nonsense. He wanted to make a deal about his story. Now, if that's not the epitome of arrogance, nothing is. Narcissism, arrogance, anger. What kind of soul is in a person that does that? It's that darkness. He said his pleasure was binding and then torturing them before he killed them. So that meant he got off on the suffering. And that's not sick. I don't know a single Black person that would even think that way. We ain't nowhere in this serial killers list, but we're the bad ones, right? We're the ones you got to watch out for. Correct your understanding. Every name on that serial killer list, and I'm going to drop it actually in the description box. Gary Ridgway and Jeffrey Dahmer, who would kill a person and have sex with the corpse. They don't want to have sex with the live person, or if they did, they would kill them thereafter. And Jeffrey Dahmer would freeze the body and begin to eat the body. This is the craziest thing. You never got a black man. Yet black men are the ones that are filling the prisons. We don't have that sickness. We honor the body. We respect it. Ted Bundy, the epitome of narcissism, where he was so full of himself that he needed to represent himself in court. I don't need an attorney. I'm gonna represent myself. And then have the nerve to wink at the cameras. The media was his circus. Because everybody's talking Ted Bundy, Ted Bundy. When they convicted him, he had the nerve to make a statement and say, tell the jury they were wrong. How are they wrong? You were wrong. We don't carry that. That is a sickness. That's a pesticide that a black man would never have. I don't care how bad he is. A gangster, what you want to call the Bloods and the Crips, the lowdown, if you want to call them the lowdown, they would never think that way. Because that kind of thinking is a pesticide to the brain. Black people are protected from brain pesticides like that. This is why we're not serial killers. This is why you don't see us robbing banks and killing people. This is why we've never been an assassin. You have been it. You have been the very hate by which you try and placate upon my people, my culture. No way, no more. Edmund Kemper, John Wayne Gacy, Rodney Alcala. The list goes on, and not one single black male name of the worst crimes in this country. And you want to tell us we're the problem? Correct your lens. Let me help you a little bit. Let me tell it to you correct, okay? We are a people by which love serves first, even in the worst of us. We don't rape children piously in a Catholic church. We don't go to a church and kill 9 praying church mothers in a Bible study. We don't rob a bank and then become an assassin of everyone in it. By the way, most of the snatch and grab robbers of this retail raid have not been black. Yet when you see them on TV, you show the black faces. I have the receipts on that. Trust me, that's coming too. This is the thing about my channel. And you see that it says speak truth. Somehow or another, I seem to have been given the temerity of truth. The temerity of truth. Because if anything else, I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired of calling my people what they never been. You've been it. We ain't never been that dark spirit. We may have dark complexions, but you have dark souls. Such to the point I'm not sure it could be prayed out of you. But you know what? We do try, don't we? We go pray for you. Okay. If you've gotten this far, I still love you. Don't be mad. Because here's the thing. Other white people are not liking this mindset either. It's the colonizers. It's the colonizers that's the problem. Now go run tell that. Okay? If you've gotten this far, please click like, please click subscribe. Sorry for the energy, but truth ain't always sweet and nice. But I try to be. Have a good one. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye. Click like, click subscribe. Bye, y'all.